Hello everyone, welcome back to iSelf Academy and Excel Snippet YouTube channel. We are in our Excel user series 5.0 and video number 3, and I'm going back and forth here. So I'm going to use the old school method of formulas with certain variants here. So today our logic is to sum an incremental range of multiple rows and columns for a specific data set. I'm going to use an offset function, an inserted formula first, and then I'll sum the valuation at last. And most of my valuation comes in a spick and span manner. Let's see how I'm going to do that. So this is the data that I have with me. So when I go back to this particular data, again you can see that I have a different set of stores here with me on the left, and the sales representation or the sales representative of the point here. I'm interested right now to get all the information related to my sales repair or the stores here. So I'm going to show and create a store wise data set here. So let me start with a logic called offset function. Again, this is a request given to me by one of my friend Evangeline, and hey this is for you. Let's see how to do that. So I'm going to go back to the offset function here. And then when I go for an offset function comes with a lot of other dimensions. The first point is where I want to start my data set. Let me move my data set to my first field where I want to start my data. I'm not going to log this here, so because I want this to be moving down and out here, I'll give a comma. Then I want to tell the rows, how many rows it should go. That's the agenda that I want to add here. So I'm going to create a formula here called row, and then I will minus that from the rows of the first cell here. So I'm going to freeze that because I want to keep that as a constant here. I'm going to close the bracket for my row conditions here. So once the row conditions are completed here, then I'm going to close the bracket for the row line item in offset function. Then I will leave a comma. Then I can say that I want this to move 2 cells forward, so I'm going to multiply that with a 2. So that my Q1 sales will start from there on. Then I give a comma. I don't want a multiple column here, but I want the height of the data to go to 3 rows, and I want the width of the data to go to 4 columns here. The moment I close the bracket and give an enter, you can see all my sales or the store 1 data sets are coming up here. So if I change this to 2, then the data set will change here, and then it will go according to my data sets here. So let me just add the data here. I gave a formula here, so my data set works in this list. Now I want to add a sum function at the last of the data here. The moment I do it, I got all my data sets here, and I get all my informations here. So now I got the other dimensions automatically. Let me see whether this is actually working. So I'm going to go for a sum function, select the first 3 rows and 4 columns here, copy that, and then put them in sales store 2, store 3, store 4, store 5, store 6, store 7, store 8, and store 9. So now if I just duplicate this, I want to go back to the view and then add a new window. So this is the answers that I have here, and I want to find out, I want to see them all split screens here. Let me put the split screens in a vertical format, and then let me keep the data set. Yes, so I'm interested in the first point here. So let me, when I zoom this zooming will happen automatically because I have a synchronized call buttons are activated here. So let me just zoom one of them here. So this is the data set that I have here. So the first, this is my store 1, and you can see that the store 1's, let me just freeze this also separately. So let me just freeze this column here for me. So now when I move off, I can see the totals here. So my store 1 totals are available, and I can, when I scroll down, the scrolling point will have an effect. So 7070, 7220, 220, 6051, and then when I go down here, you can see 6540 for store 5, and then 5730, 5690, 6130, and 5490. So this is how our data will work for you when you are summing data sets here. So this is how we use a summation on an incremental range where the data comprises for a specific number of rows and a specific number of columns. This is Vinod signing out from myself Academy and Excel Snippet YouTube channel. You can view this video even in that particular format, that channel too. Happy updating. Thank you so much.